had happened this past Halloween that changed your entire outlook on humanity? My 9-year-old daughter Roxy was diagnosed with leukemia back in September, but despite growing weaker and even being mocked in school for her hair loss and thinning body, she's remained the same optimistic ball of sunshine she always was. She made the nurses laugh with her Peter Griffin impression during her first chemo session. When her hair started falling out, she called her head a lollipop that fell on the carpet, then laughed till she doubled over. There wasn't a day she didn't wake up smiling until October 1st. Halloween was her favorite day of the year. She loved dressing up, going trick-or-treating, sharing her candies with kids who didn't get as much. But this year, we weren't sure if she'd get to go. By October 1st, she could barely walk. By October 15th, she was bedbound. Still, 10 days before Halloween, she came to me with a determined look. Mom, I'm going trick-or-treating this year. Not even Thanos will stop me. That evening, I found her in bed trying to do leg raises to make her legs stronger. I'm building muscles like Hulk, Mom. Halloween's in 10 days. Every day after that, I'd find her trying something new, sitting up without help, standing while holding her bed. But every attempt ended the same. She'd get exhausted and even weaker. A week before Halloween, her doctor visited. He checked her and shook his head gently. Roxy needs rest. No trick-or-treating this year. She cried for the first time since her diagnosis. Real tears, heartbroken sobs. But it's my favorite day. When Halloween morning came, Roxy couldn't even sit up anymore. She just lay in bed staring at her Hermione costume hanging on her closet door. For the first time in months, her smile was completely gone. That afternoon, I made a sign and put it on our front lawn. It said, "Please do not knock. My daughter is battling cancer and needs rest. Constant doorbells will disturb her. Thank you for understanding." Despite my sign, when 6 o'clock came, I heard footsteps outside. A kid in a costume was walking up to our lawn, but he didn't knock. He simply read the sign, then put something on the ground next to it and left. Okay, I thought. Strange, but at least he's respecting the sign. But then more kids came. 3 kids walked up together, all huddled around the sign. One of them pointed up at Roxy's bedroom window before putting something down and laughing, then leaving quickly. This happened every few minutes. Kids would walk to the sign, look up at Roxy's window, whisper to each other, leave something, then go. I watched through the window feeling sick. What were they doing? Mom? Roxy's weak voice called from upstairs. There's people outside. I went up to check on her. She was sitting up a little, looking out her window. Why are they all pointing at me, Mom? I looked outside to see 2 girls in witch costumes standing on our lawn, staring directly up at us. Then they whispered to each other and walked away. My heart started racing. Something felt very wrong. More kids kept coming as it got dark. I saw flashlight beams moving across our house. 5 kids stood in a circle on our lawn with their phones out taking pictures. Then I heard a loud crack against Roxy's window. She screamed and I ran to her room, where I saw a small rock on the windowsill outside. I looked down from the window and saw one of the kids from Roxy's school who picked on her standing on our lawn. I recognized his face. He was smirking up at us before running away. My hands shook. Why were these kids harassing my daughter? What kind of terrible people would do this to a sick little girl? Finally, I snapped. After another group of kids came to our lawn, giggled, and placed something down, I opened my door and stormed out. Roxy was asleep, but I was furious. I needed to see what those kids had been doing all night. I walked outside and looked down at the ground by my sign, and what I saw made me want to cry. There were 2 huge bags sitting there, both stuffed completely full of Halloween candy. I stood there confused. What was this? I picked up the first bag. There was a card attached. It said, "Get well soon, Roxy," in big, colorful letters. Below that were dozens of signatures, tiny names everywhere. Kids from Roxy's class, kids from other grades, neighborhood kids I'd never met. That's when it hit me. All those kids tonight, all those whispers and movements. They weren't harassing Roxy. They were leaving their own Halloween candy for her. Every single kid gave up part of their candy so my daughter could have Halloween even though she couldn't go trick-or-treating. Tears poured down my face. Then I saw the second bag, also full of candy, but with a different card. I read it. This card was from the parents of the boy who threw the rock. They were deeply sorry. They wrote that they made their son write an apology to Roxy, and they made him give his entire trick-or-treat bag to her as punishment. I stood there holding both bags, crying so hard I could barely breathe. The next morning, I brought everything upstairs to Roxy. She read through every name, her eyes filled with tears. Then she looked at me with that beautiful smile I thought I'd lost. "I told you people were good, Mom," she said softly.